Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Coming at you live all over the planet. Zach's like, I don't understand how the outro works. And I'm like, yeah, me either. So we go live to you guys every single Monday on all the platforms. So we are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on X. We are live on LinkedIn. And we feed through a system called Ecamm for Macintosh. I think this might help people, you know? So you could either use Ecamm or OBS for Windows, and you could do the same thing I'm doing and go to all those platforms. But to get it to go to Facebook with a guest, especially a beautiful guest like Zach, I want to be able to tag my friend's account so that you can go click on it directly. And the only way to do that is inside of Facebook Creator. So you go live from your software, and then Facebook Creator reads it, and then you go live from there too. So there's a little bit of a delay on the ending because I don't want to cut off the recording on Facebook. So I have to wait for the lag to finish before I hit stop so it doesn't cut us off. So that's why it's kind of funny on the outro.
All the technical nuances will continue to evolve out of the platform, so.
Totally. But there's your tutorial on how to broadcast live and look as good as Zach Hoffman looks right now, folks. So Zach, welcome back. Marketing Monday. Let's jump right into the TikTok discussion here. 75 days, you said, right?
Yeah, so the TikTok ban is continuing to be the hot topic in marketing in general, or just I think people's personal lives as well. If they're all consumed by TikTok and they're getting lost in the medium, they're stressing on the fact that essentially they're going to have a U.S. Owner take hold of the data and the information, or they might be really banning TikTok from the U.S. market here in the near future.
All right, so you know me, I'm a huge TikTok fan. Here's why. Snapchat really popularized the vertical video format. The problem with Snapchat was it disappeared after 24 hours. There was no grid. It wasn't like an actual platform like Instagram. And so Instagram took that Snapchat disappearing thing and turned it into stories. Then TikTok took the vertical integration and they turned it into a full vertical video grid-based app with just vertical video and vertical live. And that completely changed how we consume mobile video, because during the pandemic, everybody went to TikTok because they were stuck in their houses making funny videos. Pictures kind of went out of style for a minute. Podcasts really started to pick up because you could really create a clip bank if you do a stream just like this, 20 minutes a week, and we've got great content for the week. And we've gotten, even like you said before, better at going from 60 minutes to 20 minutes of pure value instead of just, hey, we're testing things out. We're ready to rip now. We got stuff to do, meetings to do today. These are efficient ways to capture content and then push it out to the platforms. But in my opinion, as a U.S. business owner, a deal is going to get done on this. I've been saying it since day one. It might go down to the wire. That's how entrepreneurs work. Zach, you know this. Right down to the wire. But as Dave Portnoy would say, I'm going with my one ruling. One bite, everybody knows the rules. Somebody is going to get this deal done. It's going to be either Kevin O'Leary, Elon. I think Zuckerberg could put a foot in it. I think Dana White could put a secret foot in it. So the deal's going to get done within the next 75 days is my prediction. We need TikTok. Everybody needs vertical video. The TikTok shop marketplace is making people millionaires. There's too much money on here to lose this deal. Zach, what do you think?
I don't think anybody really cares if the deal happens, other than some consumers.
Brutal, Zach.
I think Zuckerberg, if the deal doesn't happen, I think he'll rest a little easier. I think Trump holds the real keys to actually getting the deal done. I think if Dana makes an impact, he's coming in with Zuckerberg, because they're both at the same table at this stage. But they're saying that the leaders at the table right now, Amazon is public with a bid, and then you have Oracle, who supports all of the infrastructure for TikTok. But I do believe if a deal does not happen, it's just going to go down like another platform that came and went. So
damn, Zach Hoffman with the creators that watch it with Pat's positive outlook, all just their hearts are breaking. Zach, they're listening to their favorite emo record after the show today.
Hey man, the deal definitely can happen. The deal potentially might happen, but
you're not. I love this about you. Zach is not emotional about business. You can almost hear my passion for how much I love how they innovated and they were creative and they were there at the right time and they helped us all. Zach doesn't care. He'll take his vertical videos wherever he needs to take them. He'll take his vertical videos where he needs to.
In the direction as to where it goes. But when it comes down to TikTok, man, it's we'll see where it goes, man. It's not. I don't think I don't think the economy is going to lose sleep over whether or not it really happens. This deal really happens. Look, there's going to be companies that might lose as a result. And there's going to be a number of companies that win. But every single time that I think that this ban has come to light, they just lose some steam. They lose momentum in the TikTok arena. It doesn't help them in a lot of ways. So it just kind of nips at their heels every time there's a rumor about the ban, and then the potential of okay, now you're carrying it out for another 75 days. So people start migrating their content to other platforms.
Right.
Their users. It's not necessarily, it's almost like a slow bleed in a lot of ways, because that first ban where they actually shut it off for a day, I mean, that I think that was definitely creating a road hump for them.
No, I love it. I love the honesty because we'll be able to see. We're going to see in 75 days.
Look, if you're going to sustain a business and organization for a long time, the one thing you can't have in operating a business is excuses. You need to continue to propel, and you need to continue to carry momentum forward. So TikTok or not, companies are going to survive and evolve. So will a number of influencers. If the content is that great and that good, they'll move to other mediums.
And like we've said, look how quickly that vertical video has now become a staple in every platform. Every platform's essentially got TikTok integrated. So if that platform disappears, they're just going to go to LinkedIn, or they're going to go to Instagram or Facebook Reels or YouTube Shorts. But I mean, essentially, this just gives you guys more ammo out there. You're either making it and you're posting it yourself, or you're hiring a team and then you're sending people to your website. That's why we do this show. So if you guys need help with that stuff, add us. Let's make some moves. Next topic. Zach crushed it. Zach got the A on the first review.
I mean, I definitely feel, though, Instagram continues to gain the most momentum from all of it. There's also YouTube Shorts are very popular, garnering a lot of views and a lot of impressions. So like I said, if you're an influencer and you're dependent on TikTok at this stage, it's never a better time than to really take the signals and start to migrate and evolve, because the writing is essentially on the wall, whichever direction it does.
And we've been telling people to post every day on every platform since we started doing these broadcasts. So they should, our audience knows, you guys got to be prepared for this. Zach's got all of his holes covered at all times. So, all right, what's number two?
Chief Experience Officer continues to become more than just a trend. This becomes, a permanent stakeholder right now in the C-level executive suite. So what we mean by Chief Experience Officer, this goes beyond just marketing, because marketing is typically focused on garnering and gaining new clients and new opportunities. Chief Experience Officer is looking at how an organization operates and essentially how the employees interact, as well as how the clients interact. Ways to increase client retention, continue to carry momentum, and to continue to move an organization forward. It's a new spot within companies. It became a trend in 2020 when I believe that just became more of a hyper evolution of looking at the fact that retaining clients is so important for any organization and just operating in general. But the chief experience officers, when recently surveyed, some of the areas and challenges they're seeing are securing budgets for their actual initiatives and what they have to do, cross-department collaboration, and then creating ROI and measurement for their specific activities. But I believe that the chief experience officer in general is a positive for consumers, and it's a positive for companies as a whole. It's definitely an overlooked area that needs emphasis and should almost be more important than looking after that new piece of opportunity, is focusing within as to what could be better or what experiences could be created to make things evolve more efficiently.
I love that title, and I also love the fact that I think that people who can't hire a designated person at a specific pay rate can bring in consultants like a Zach or a Pat. because you can bring someone with a ton of experience in. You can pay them, like a consulting fee every month, and you can have that person on standby so that when you need something analyzed or evaluated or handled, that person can step in and do it, whether it's content, websites, paid ads, Google ads, Bing ads. Like, dude, there's all these different routes that you can take to get the customer acquisition and figure out what the cost is and get yourself ranked and get yourself on social media. And there's no need sometimes to pay these $30,000 to $50,000 a month fees, unless you're big enough.
When you're looking at
it's all
the
scale.
CMO role.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the chief experience officer role, it's like taking that database of existing customers or clients and even like past existing customers or clients and figuring out how to make more out of what you currently have on the table. There's a lot of software suites that are essentially getting more focused on internal communications like text message, SMS. Obviously, AI dialing is becoming, more of a thing these days. So when you're looking at, even like customer service, like that call to customer support at a lot of organizations.
Yeah, you're right. There is a split there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's those are huge, points as to where consumers might be having gaps in experience. I know from, my experience traveling a lot right now, it's becoming a bit more efficient to be communicating. If you're utilizing Marriott, they encourage you to utilize the app within the actual Bonvoy platform. Or if you're on Delta and you're delayed, I highly recommend you utilize the applications versus trying to call the customer support lines. They've made those experiences more seamless and more flawless and empowered those aspects of the organization. Because if you recall, and you used to get into like a live chat, they used to kind of like push you into the 800 number, and it'd be like, I'm talking to somebody, can't you help me here? So it's an interesting evolution. It's happened in the past, I would say 12 to 18 months. And I think you could thank like the rise of the chief experience officer as to why you're seeing such a gain in experience in just the experiential economy.
Well, and you're also talking about the user experience. You're talking about someone that knows how to communicate directly with the consumer and how they utilize the service. Getting them into your app. It's kind of like what you talk about, how you want to get people to your website. Because you know me, I'm Mr. Social Media, and I'm like, yeah, but you can still close them on the DM, Zach, and blah, blah. And you're like, dude, you need to get them to your website like a business professional. I love your attention. And this is where Zach doesn't cut you no slack, because that's true. And once I started using lead forms more and X, Y, and Z, or a funnel or anything that you guys have to do to capture information, it works better. And then like you're saying, then they're pushing people into the app. I know that there's a company that's a nutrition company, and they're always saying you can only get the 50% off the protein if you use the app. It's an in-app deal. And I'm like, I'm in the app again. So you've already now caught me. I do that sometimes. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
maybe that's another powerful tool.
You have to be careful with the experiences. I'll admit there was an advertiser on TV I saw the other day, and I started to like engage with it because it was let me look it up. They're actually a food company, and they made a tie-in with Minecraft, right? So I'm like, oh, here's a hope to get my kid to eat a little bit better, maybe.
Right.
So I was like, maybe I could sell them on some Minecraft food. So I opt into this company's like landing page and like the engagement, and just starts like dinging me. It's called Home Chef. I saw their ads on TV. So I started to like go through their opt-in and start to like, gauge in. I think I got like 3 to 4 messages within like a couple hours, same day, of like asking me to order, and I'm like, whoa, I just said hello. Like, let's slow this down. So I already opted out of their experience, but that chief experience officer and like ways to measure the return on investment from how, just like expanding the experience reflects on the customer, comes down to opportunities to essentially like cross-sell, get business referrals, and, continue to retain that customer. So focusing on the actual experience of the consumer is definitely critical, especially as you move into markets where, consumers might be a little bit more hesitant to take on new relationships. You got to make the best of and nurture the relationships that you do have.
Right. Yeah, it's good. I mean, you've always got a good analysis, man. Your angles on stuff are clean, and I think it's good because people get different perspectives. on this show, and you've got a lot. You've been in the game longer than I have with pure digital marketing. So clear and concise. You always want those people because, again, we're very in alignment with the way that we market. But
Yeah.
you just have a different industry insight than I do. I'm come from the entertainment side. We always think our shit's awesome.
Just it becomes, it's like the pop hit versus, the rock star. It's like,
Right.
it's not just that one hit, that one wonder, because if that's what your crux on, it's not going to
It
necessarily
fades fast.
sustain,
We want
you know,
sustainability here. This is the
we want
business world.
sustainability, within an organization and a company.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to like growth and what you're doing going forward. So, which takes me to the next experience here. So traveling and experiences. So we continue to do trade shows and get out there and just hear people on the street. So where we are at in 2025 versus 2024. There is actually a proactive, insatiable curiosity for AI. Whereas in 2024, it seemed like you were kind of like pushing it on people, like, oh, you should consider AI, you should start to look into it. Now it's like, please tell me more. I don't want to fall behind. I'm understanding that if I'm not doing I might be really far behind in the next few years. So just want to get ahead. So we're starting to
Right.
see more of like an insatiable appetite as well as a curiosity for AI. Whereas I think before it was more of like a push engagement, whereas now we're pivoting into more of like an actual engaged engagement. So it's
Yeah.
pretty wild how fast we see AI evolving because typically something would take years to catch on. This is catching on in a matter of months, in a
The
couple of years
AI
now.
thing is definitely gaining a ton of steam this year. And I think personally, again, it's going to encourage people to get on camera, start utilizing all these tools, build websites, run ads, make money on the internet. There is so much more opportunity now to chase your dreams and, like you say, turn it into a sustainable business model than there's ever been before because you can surround yourself with advisors and consultants at a rate that was impossible 10 or 15 years ago. Get expert advice, expert help, build a real nice virtual team, and create that sustainability because, like you've done for 20 years, digital marketing gives you tools that create freedom in your life and in your business.
Well, AI is taking that to a whole new level. So
Yep.
essentially, if you have employees or even business leaders that aren't utilizing AI, they're either going to be out of business or out of employment here in the very near future.
Yep.
It's no joke with, for however you might feel about what's going on in the federal government, with the influence of efficiency, and the encouragement to have efficiency. It's no joke right now that, the application of artificial intelligence and AI and what it's doing for how people work or how people evolve, if they're not using it, essentially you have to look internally at an organization right now, take a deep breath and understand how you could utilize this technology to propel forward because you better believe that even somebody that you compete with that's in their 70s is definitely not looking at AI and being like, oh, I'm gonna not look at this or consider it for my
Yeah.
company. It's next level thinking and it's next level application right
Well,
now.
and look at how much faster we're moving, just with us as an example, compared to last year when we first started doing this with the clips. We're moving at a way more astonishing speed. You know what I mean? To the
Oh,
point where I think
yeah.
1 year from now, we could be doing 2 clips, 3 clips a day from streams and streaming on Mondays and Thursdays. So we could turn up the juice. So, I
Well,
mean,
you're
there's going
good.
to be
Yeah.
so much more to cover, too. Everything is picking up speed here. So, hopefully, everything pans out with this whole tariff thing. Maybe they all come together and flush it all down the toilet. We all do some trade. We know that that's a dream. That would be a dream scenario. But I think things are going to heat up and everybody's going to be doing really, really well here. I mean, there's always going to be speed bumps.
Well, look, I mean, I think there's no questions asked that they need to become more innovative, and, experiential with what they're doing. So, get out there, travel, test different things, learn from other people, and, hear what's going on in the world and go experience it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're at a unique time where, Yeah, it's like if you look at where the world was 100 years ago, I mean, we're light speeds ahead. Yeah, for everybody that's like, I wonder what the world looks like in 5 years or 10 years from now. It's like even look at where we were 50 years ago in 1975. Like we were not where we are today.
You know,
And
it's
if you look
funny.
at,
Yeah. But I posted something the other day, and I've said it on the show that like I a big music fan. So you go back and you see like a concert clip, and it's Led Zeppelin, and it's 1975, and it's like
yeah,
back when there was no auto tune and no this and no that and no the other thing. And times were just better, and it's like I don't know if it was necessarily better or worse. It was just different.
it's just different. That's all you can chalk it up for because whether or not you like it, it's going to continue to evolve.
It
You know,
is. It
yeah,
totally
it's,
is. And so you either take advantage of it and you hop on the rocket ship, or you watch the rocket ship fly through the sky, and you could have been on it.
yeah. I mean, space travel is real, dude.
That's why I surround
Yeah.
myself with people that are smarter than me, like Zach Hoffman, folks. Put that one in your pipe. Smoke on that one. All right, what do we got to close
Thanks,
it,
Pat.
Zach?
Appreciate
What's
it.
on the close?
Yeah, that's what I got for you,
That's
man.
it.
Definitely, the what's going to happen to TikTok, we'll see.
Yeah.
I know tariffs is the hot topic, but we can't really control that. We can't
We
really
can't control that
TikTok's
at
future either.
all. I just want to see what happens.
You got to kind of let them both be. But the chief experience officer, I think this is going to be something that continues to emerge. So when you're looking at your marketing or your efforts in general, like the experience you're giving your customers and consumers is definitely critical. And then getting out there and traveling and experiencing different things, hearing what's going on in the street, it's that's really critical and really important. I know you're always doing that when you're emceeing events.
Oh, yeah.
So you're seeing different things happening.
And I think that as the MC, my goal is to connect people. And I really picked up on that this weekend. We had a huge line of VIP people. They all wanted pictures with all the speakers. And so I just stood there at the door and grabbed everybody's phone, took pictures. The cameraman took pictures. We handed it to him. They moved on. Grab the phone.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to get involved to the point where you're hands-on at an event with enough people to where they see you in the hallway and they're like, oh man, hey, thanks for the picture. Thanks for saying this. You got to go the extra mile. You don't ever want to just be the speaker or the MC on stage. You want to be the person that the people remember so they continue to come back. They want to sponsor again. They get deals. Always be that person. And you're great at that too, Zach. You have the ability to inject people with enough value and confidence that they go out and they get results.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's critical, and just delivering on the end game, delivering on the results is what you got to be doing.
Yeah. And if
So-
you fire people up, they go out there and they get the results. And that's what we do here. So, ladies and
Exactly.
gentlemen, Marketing Monday, cue up your week and crush it. And we will see you
For sure.
on the next one.
Thanks, Pat.
Rock on. Boom.